will start. So, good afternoon, everyone. Today we will have a lecture from Gil Faran. Gil is a member of Poland Forum and a Holocaust researcher. Currently, he started his PhD at Tel Aviv University. His research focuses on commemoration of Jewish victims in Poland. Gil has been guiding youth and adults delegations to Poland since 2010. He is the chairman of the Israeli Guides to Poland organization since 2015. He is very active in promoting connections between the people of both countries. In 2018, to mark the 100 years of anniversary of Poland independence, he honored as an ambassador for the good name of Poland from the Polish Institute in Tel Aviv. So today, the subject of his lecture will be Puchacze, a small village, the story of a place through which all events of the Holocaust throughout Poland can be told. The floor is yours. Thank you very much. Thank you, Judy, for being with us today too, and all of you.
My pleasure.
So it's always, Batya, good to see you now in the camera too. So Gil, the floor is yours, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for being with us today, this afternoon. Thank you, Leah, for giving me 2 hours to present the story of this small village.
He's just kidding, you know. It was an argument how much time he has. So.
Okay, my last presentation in English was more than 2 hours, so I will try to do it shorter. I would like to tell you a story of one of my research about this small village. I'm not sure that all the people in Poland know where is this village is, but we will find it in the map soon. But first, a few photos of my guiding. My first research was dealing with commemoration of the victim of the death march from Auschwitz. This is the result on the right top, on the right side. You can see the result of the research, a new tomb over the grave of 18 victims. And on the left side, this is some of the heroes of our story this afternoon. And before I go into Puchacze, I would like to present in 5 minutes my friend from Poland, Zbyszek Nijinsky, and the friendship start in March 14. By the way, wow, we are celebrating 7 years today. I just saw it when I received the mail from Zbyszek offering me to make common ceremonies above graves he found over Jewish victim pits in Poland. This is Zbyszek. I'm not sure that all of you, some of you know him, but one of the great and modest people I know in the world. Zbyszek found a few years ago association in Poland, the Lasting Memory, which deal mainly with commemorating the Jewish history, is honoring the places that where Jewish people were killed all over Poland. And since now we made more than 70 projects in all over Poland. What Zbyszek done is going to archive and found information, and from the archive is going to the small villages where the elderly people show him where the places where the German killed the Jewish people during the war. Zbyszek made the research with his special equipment, and then he put a stone over the graves, mark them, and make it with ceremony. This is how we start in April, and this is almost the end of this project, you can see the friendship that became out of these ceremonies. One of the great people I met in Poland, Father Chiswa, the Bishop of Lublin, Rabbi Shudrich, and we became like a band that were going from place to place, honoring the people who were murdered during the war. Our first ceremony was in Stashivka, and I will come back to this area. This is my mother. We are both guide. I'm guide. She's the elder guide in Israel. And here we mark the owner, 18 unknown people who were murdered by the German. My mother told the story because our family came from this that area. And after 3 months, we done with Zbyszek another ceremony. We commemorate the victim, 3 women, young women who died in that village. And the third event was in Puchacze. We'll go back to it very detailed very soon. But after Puchacze, we keep making ceremonies. If me or my mother are not able to come with our group to these ceremonies, I'm organized another delegations to come to honor the people who were murdered in these events. I can present you a few of the events all over the years. The last event we've been together was in July 2019 in the village of Lumazi. In this place, my grandfather were killed by the German Battalion 101. This is the monument they put where they buried them. Later, after the war, they took the bodies to the Jewish cemetery. In 2017, Zbyszek made another ceremony for another 25 victims. And then I found out that there is another pit over there for people who were hiding in the ghetto and were killed. And in July, we make this ceremony in Lumazi. And because of this is the place where my grandfather died, in the ceremony, this is my mother, my brother and his wife, me and my son. So in the place that 3 generations were killed, we came 3 generations to honor their murder. And even during the pandemic, Zbyszek didn't stop. This is in Stanisławów, he done it. But as Zbyszek wrote me, it was a sad ceremony because in this event, none of the Israeli delegation will participate. And we are planning the next. Zbyszek is not resting. He found out another grave in Lechna and in Wechna, and we are waiting. We hope that we will able to be there in our next visit or after the pandemic and make a common ceremony. And then coming back to Puchacze, on March 16, Zbyszek sent me a mail that he found a grave of 10 people in Puchacze, which is about 10 kilometers from Dzierżyń Podlaski, and I will explain in a minute why it's so important to me. Zbyszek sent me, and the system between us is that Zbyszek is send me the information. I'm trying to make a research to find out information about the victims, to find out more information about the place. And together and later we make the ceremony over there. And in this case, I found this testimony, which I will tell you in a minute about it. So this is the village of Puchacze. We will fly to, we are not able to fly, but the computer is allow us to fly. Very small village today in the eastern part of Poland. before the war, it was in the middle of Poland. It's about 110 kilometers from north of Lublin, 150 kilometers east of Warsaw. And most important, it's about 10 kilometers from Mędrzejów Podlaski. And in Mędrzejów Podlaski, all my four grandfather and grandmother were born or lived before the war. So it's near my family town. This is so small place that you can see during the event, they brought the fire truck, and we check according to the license plate, and the last one was produced about 40, 50 years ago. So this is to show you, to present you how small is this place. Let's go to the story of the place. Before the war, we are talking about 6 Jewish family, about 35 residents. Today is still a small village with 250 residents. The area is near the Bug River. So first the German arrived, then the Russian, and then it came back, the area, it came back to the under the German control. The people, the Jewish people who understand what is going on, start to look for place to hide. And we can see the 2 red dots on the forest. It's not a really forest, it's a very small forest. You can hide there a few hours if you have information that the Germans are coming, you can hide there for a few hours. And if you're not able, for example, in this place, in the middle of the village, this is a place of Vega family who were 6 young kids, and the parents decided that they won't be able to run to the forest. So they dig themselves a place to hide in the barn next to their house. And unfortunately, it won't help them. I'm jumping to the second half of 1942. In this area, there were a few labor camps. Jews from Poland and Slovakia were brought to Mędrzejów Podlaski. There was no ghetto yet. The ghetto established only after the deportation. We are talking about a year after the killing by Einsatzgruppen and other in the east. We are talking about area that there are already 2 death camps operate, and the first deportation from the area, the first Jews from the area was sent to the death camp. People from this small village were deported to the ghetto in Mędrzejów Podlaski. Not all of them went to the ghetto. Some of them preferred to hide. And part of the research, I got information from a Family Roots project about what is going on this is the story of one of the survivors of the village, and I will show you in a minute. By the end of 42, there were 4 transport for action in Mędrzejów Podlaski. People were sent to Treblinka, and only after the first 2 action in Mędrzejów, then they built the ghetto. In the same period of October 42, there will start one of the rescue stories in this place. In a minute, I will tell you in detail. So the Germans start to make raids on this small village. By the end of 42, we can see that on 28th of December and the 30th of December, they killed 3 families. We have some evidence from local people, local residents who tell the story of the killing. Then a few days later, the German came back to look for another 2 family. They didn't found them, so they killed the Polish guy who helped them. And again, I will come back to the rescue story in more details. And May 43, there were killing of 5 Jewish people who were hiding in the forest. In this time, unfortunately, I'm thinking that the killers were the neighbors, meaning the Poles who killed them. The area was liberated in July 44, and in the area of the village, more Jewish people were killed during the war. We don't have the place where they killed, but more people were killed there. Out of 35 Jewish residents before the war, only 2 survived, Zeidman, Sarah, and Shana. They decide to take Polish identity and go to Germany to work as a Polish women. And about a year ago, Zbyszek sent me that photo. We can see here Shana Zeidman with her girlfriend. This photo was taken in 42 in Puchacze. But the story, to understand the complexity of the story of the village, these 2 girls went to Germany. The parents and the young sister were then helped by Polish one. Then when the German arrived, one of the German arrived to the village, they tried to escape. The father was wounded, and he asked mercy to kill him because he was suffer a lot, and he asked to rid them from his misery. Later, the mother and the sister were made murdered by the one who hid them, unfortunately, and the brother joined the partisan fight with them, and he was killed before the end of the war by his colleague in the partisans. Regarding the sister or help to the Jews, the first story is the story of Puchacze, Wojciech, and Czesława. They are not residents of the village. They are from Poznan, and they moved. They were evacuated from Poznan to that area. They got from the Germany the farm of 2 families. When they discovered these 2 Jewish families hiding in the forest, they brought him back to the farm and built a shelter in the one of the farmhouse for 10 people. In the beginning of 43, after some neighbors informed the Germans, there was German raid into the farm. Wojciech was tortured. He didn't say anything about the Jewish people, so the German killed him in front of his wife and his 6-year-old son, Marian. And all the people from the village were brought to the area, to the farm. They destroyed the house and burned the barn. And they told them, all the other residents, they told that if that's what happened to anyone who will help Jews in the area. And even so, after her father were killed, Czesława continued to help people who come to ask her help. When I started the process in March, I discovered that the file of the family is on the way. It was on the way a few years on the Rights Among Nation Commission in Yad Vashem. So I asked them to make it urgent. And about 2 weeks before we arrived there, Yad Vashem recognized the couple, Puchacze, Wojciech, and Czesława, as the Rights Among Nation. And in May 2018, the relative, the grandsons, received the medal for the act of their grandfathers. The other story is one of the interesting stories I have. I found the story of helping Raisin and Shmuel Jezin told. They came from Biala Podalska, and on September 42, they sent, the family sent to Minjij Podlaski. From there, they had one very rich sister who lived in Shidlice. She sent the papers to take the family out of Minjij to Shidlitz. By then, we know that it won't help them. And the courier took the free sister and refused to take the father because of his Jewish look. So Rachel decided to stay with Shmuel in Minjij. Later, she convinced him to join to a working group in a nearby labor camp. And from the nearby labor camp, after she learned that they are killing the Jews that work there, she found two local people, Jan Kulik and Silchuk, who agreed to help them after run away from the camp. They were hidden in a basement of Silchuk home, and Jan Kulik take care of all their needs. Unfortunately, after about a month in this shelter, the father were killed, and these two peasants helped Razel to bury him on the forest. First, they wash him on the river as a part of the kind of Jewish ceremony. While she was in the hiding, Razel heard about the aunt of the Jews. She was aunt of people, the murder of Polish people who were killed, probably the Puchacze case. And in nearby village, there was another story of killing Polish family who were accused of helping Jewish family. In my 43, and we are talking about 1 month after the beginning of the uprising in Warsaw ghetto, Silchuk arrived and told Razel that he will take her to the woods to join another Jews there. But then Kulik arrived in the evening, took her and told her that this local Polish people decide, because there are no more Jews in Poland after the end of the Warsaw ghetto uprising, it's too risky to hold them. So Jan Kulik took her. He took her on his back because she can't move. He walked with her about 10 kilometers, and he put her in a hiding place next to his mother's house, without knowing of his family. Jan Kulik stole food from his family. This was a very poor family. Razel described him that she met one of the poorest men she ever met. She described he even didn't have underwear. Later, his mother Maria discovered Razel, and Jan convinced her to help. And they part of the rescue, it was in the neighbor barn, and they didn't. This neighbor didn't know that the other family, Kulik family, is hiding a Jewish girl on his barn. 2 months before the end of the war, Maria Kulik died, and all in all, Razel was hidden in the area from October 42 until July 44. After the liberation, she took her father's remains and put them on a gravestone in Minjij's Jewish cemetery, and placed a tombstone on Maria Kulik's grave. Later, they both moved to Łódź. Razel was married, immigrated to Australia, and unfortunately, they didn't have any children. And 2 weeks after we returned from Puchacze, Jan and Maria Kulik were recognized as rights of one nation. And this is a pretty sad story, because on the testimony I found in March, which given by Razel in 1968, she said, "I'm coming specially from Australia to honor the people who rescue me, and I want them to be recognized as rights of one nation." And this testimony in Yiddish and in Hebrew was in the archive. Nobody noticed until I found it, and I opened the case. And after I opened the case, they will recognize this is the photo of Maria and Jan Kulik, and this is the ceremony in November 2017 in Lublin to honor the family. And I was invited to this ceremony, and this is the family of Kulik. So let's go very quickly, because I'm running out of time, to the commemoration. As I told you, like we feel like a family. We arrived 3 buses, more than 100 students from my town, from Gedera, Israel, in August. We unveiled 3 tombstone over 3 graves of Jewish victims. And then we moved to the Christian cemetery in Dolcha to honor these 2 rights among nations, these 2 Polish people who helped the Jews. This is the preparation for the ceremony. This is part of the ceremony. A few photos that I will run very quickly. This is the first grave. 10 people from 2 families. We know part of the names of the families. Then we march to the other grave. This is the grave of the Vega family, the one who were killed in the barn next to the house. And look how serious is Zbyszek. In this area, he marked the grave by metal because he found the grave. In the Vega case, he didn't find the exact place of the grave, so we put the stone without any other mark beside the stone. This is a few photos, and this is the third pit that people were killed. During my research, I found out relative of one of the victim in that pit, and my colleague Eli say a few words that the family wrote about the relative, and Zbyszek was make a surprise for us and give us 2 bottles and 1 teaspoon who were at the eating place in the forest, and we brought these things to Yad Vashem. Then we moved to the Christian cemetery, and we honor Pachorka and Maria Kulik grave. Leah, do we have 3 minutes to show the... Okay. Sorry that it's in Hebrew. I didn't have the time to translate it to English. Later I will send you I'll put on the chat the link to the full movie I made and I put on YouTube. But this is a part of, for you to feel the atmosphere during these ceremonies.
Naszych rodaków wyznania mojżeszowego, którzy żyli na tej ziemi międzyrzeckiej w miejscowości Puchacze.
Choć przeszło 70 lat od czasu wojny i powoli pamięć jest coraz słabsza.
המקום שבו אנחנו נמצאים, הכפר הזה, הכפר הקטן הזה, בקצה הלא כלום, מציג את הטוטליות של השואה. את הטוטליות של הגרמנים להגיע לכל יהודי באשר הוא ולרצוח אותו.
Just for the one who don't, for those of you who don't understand Hebrew, what I said that this village, this place, represent the totalitarianism of the German to find out every Jewish man, women, and child, wherever he is, and kill them, even in these small towns in the middle of nowhere.
de Rachamim, modlitwa dla zmarłych.
דוד ינקל יקר, נוח על משכבך בשלום, אתי לנצמן, חנה רוזנצוויג.
Drogi Dawidzie Jankielu,
במקום שבו אנחנו נמצאים, נדבר על הטוב שאין לו גבול. כי אנחנו מוכירים עכשיו בטקס, אחרי שחשפנו 3 מצבות מעל הקברים של האחים שלנו, אנחנו מוכירים עכשיו 2 פולנים שיכלו לעצום עיניים, שיכלו לעשות דברים אחרים, אבל הם בחרו לסייע ליהודים, לשכנים שלהם בעת צרה.
What I just said, that in this place we are honoring the Poles who help the neighbors, the Jewish neighbors, while they can close their eyes, turn their head to the other side, but they decide to help them.
אנו משלחת תלמידים מישראל, עומדים ומצדיעים לשני אנשים אלו, שבתקופה חשוכה של האנושות, עשו את המעט שיכלו על מנת לסייע בעזרה לבני אדם, לאחיהם היהודים. המעט שאנו יכולים לומר, תודה.
And in this word, I said that we are the delegation from Israel. Delegation from Israel honoring and say thank you to those 2 people who help our brothers and sisters by help them during that period. And again, you can see here in the map the site that we visit during this event, special event. And so this is almost the last slide. Why this small, what we have in this small village of Puchacze, we have the Jewish story. First, the people from small villages sent to regional ghettos, and later to cities ghetto, and later to the death camp. We have here almost a complete extermination of all the Jews of this small village. We have, of course, few stories of rescue. We have the story of Jewish people who understand the situation and try to deal with it by hiding, by taking Polish identity and move to Germany, by going to the ghetto, by escaping from the ghetto, because I didn't give you all the details, but try to deal with the situation. We have area that all the time there is Jews hunting and terror against local people who are helping or a suspect of helping the Jews. We have murder of Polish people who help Jews, and as I told you, I know at least two stories, one of Puchacze and another story of another family members nearby. We have the Polish people who help the Jews despite the fear, and Polish people who help in the beginning and later on change their mind from the reason. We have the partisans who are fighting together, and also by the end it won't help them. All in all, we have human being choices. In this small village, we can see all the aspect of human being choices during the war. And of course, we have commemoration and remembrance, which is very important. And that's all thanks to my big friend from Warsaw, Zbyszek Nijinsky, who started his project by accident, but this is for another story. Thank you for listening. It took a few more minutes, but thank you.
Thank you very much, Gil, for a really very interesting lecture and very moving lecture, because your lectures combine many aspects as you showed. But what I take from this is so important to this forum, because in this forum we deal with subjects that are connected to the complicity between relationship between Jews and Poles in the past, and how we make together researches, and how we talk about commemorating and memory. So thank you for really giving us so many aspects to think about. So who would like to ask some question? Any kind of question? Please.
Oh,
Yes.
may I?
Yes, Carol, please.
It was really an interesting story, and I didn't know anything about that story, even though my parents have summer house nearby in Międzyrzec, so I was Międzyrzec Podlaski. This name is really hard even for Polish people to pronounce, Międzyrzec.
But it's Mezrich, yes?
Yes, it's Mezrich.
Yes. Yeah.
So in Międzyrzec Podlaski, you can see even now, even today, little holes for mezuzah, in the market. So, and nearby, I was so many times, and I never heard that story. And I was also in Łomazy, which is very near for where my family had this house. And on the cemetery in Łomazy, there is only one or even half of Macewa there. And I was wondering if this story, which is relatively new for the audience there, is there any information on the Jewish cemetery in Międzyrzec or in Łomazy, which is as far as I remember, the cemetery in Łomazy is just a huge ground with grass and half of Macewa there, put it there. So maybe, is there any information, tourist information or something nearby, so people would know? Because I saw that many people from the village attended the ceremony, so it was very nice. And this is one question. And the second one, this monument was quite impressive. And I was wondering if it is only funded by the Zbyszek Niziński Foundation, or it is funded also by the, I don't know, the rabbi, the government, the church, the villages, the village.
Well, first I will answer the second question. The monuments, all the Zbyszek is putting all over Poland are sponsored by his association, which is a private one. It's a private initiative, but because of the importance of his activity, in almost every ceremony there is a local priest or bishop, there is one representative from the Rabbi Shudrich or another rabbi, there is people from the local authorities, there is representative of the president. So it's a big ceremony, and it's all founded by this Zbyszek Association. Regarding the first question, if you are standing in Mindzijec's Rynek and look to the south, you can see the chimney of my grandfather bakery over there. And you can see the prayer, you're probably aware of the stone for commemorate the Jews in Mindzijec, the prayer in the Rynek. And the people who, the community who left Mindzijec or survived from Mindzijec supported the local, one of the local residents to take care of the cemetery. In Łumazy, it's more, in Mindzijec, by the way, it was a Jewish town. Before the war, out of 20,000 inhabitants, 18,000 were Jewish. The Poles speaks Yiddish in Mindzijec. Coming back to Łumazy, the mayor is very active. We became friends, the mayor of Łumazy. We became friends when we arrived there. I didn't want to spend time, but they clean the cemetery. In the cemetery, there is a big stone of the people who were murdered, and they took the remains out of the forest where the other ceremony was. So in these small villages, it's very interesting that many local people are coming to these ceremonies. And again, if you will see I'll put in a minute the full story, they are taking care of these places. After we're not coming back to these small places anymore. We are coming to the ceremony, and the one who left there to take care of the ceremony, to tell the stories, is the local residents, which is very impressive.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
One more note. In Łumazy, if you be there, it is very interesting because there is a Christian cemetery, Jewish one, and Muslim, because there was also a Muslim community in Łumazy before the war. So it is the very interesting region in Poland. Okay, thank you very much for these answers.
Thank you, Carol. Łumazy, by the way, it was the second action by the 101 battalion, the German 101 battalion after Józefów. The second place where they killed Jewish people was in Łumazy.
Thank you.
When it was?
In Łumazy.
Which?
When?
Yes, and when?
August 42.
Exact date?
There is exact date, and Carol, if you're interested in the story of Łumazy, there is a big story about this place, small place, because in 41, I think, the German make notes of all the Jewish name, all the Jewish people who were there at that moment, and we know, comparing to the other places that we don't know who killed them. In that place, we have many lists of people who were killed in Wumazi. And if you will send me mail, I will send you the research. Even I have it in Polish. I put my mail into the chat.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, I see that.
אני מבין קצת
No, it's Polish, it's better for you.
אבל קארול יודע קצת עברית, הוא למד בירושלים, באוניברסיטה, נכון קארול?
אני מבין.
אתה
אבל
מבין.
לא באוניברסיטה, ביד ושם.
ביד ושם, אוקיי. Camille, you are here with us, Camille? I see your name.
Yes, hello.
Hello, Camille. From the Olma Museum, from Museum Polish Saving Jews in Markova. Camille, do you commemorate this story in your museum?
My museum is dedicated to the Poles who saved Jews in the Subcarpathian region only, but we are developing our exhibition. So soon, maybe stories from other parts of Poland will be placed there.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Hi, Camille. It's good to see you even you are in dark. I can't see your face, but...
Yes.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, Camille.
Hello.
Good. Hello. I would like to ask you, Gil, if in this village they teach the stories of the Jews in the schools, in the elementary or in high school, if they have, about the Jews in this small village?
I really don't know, because we arrived there for 2.5 hours. We didn't have the chance to ask, but I'm sure, because I know from other places that we visit and make such an event, that after this is make the initiative of learning the history. I don't know if this is the story in this place, but I'm sure there is a good chance that that they are doing that.
Okay, it's interesting because in this part, it's not far away from the small village that my father was born in Vodava, and they because we have lots of common projects, and they teach about the Jews in Vodava, in the elementary school, and also in the high school in the region. So it's interesting to know and to learn about it. So I know that Professor Jurek is with us also. Professor Jurek, you are here because I saw you before. Maybe not yet, because they have a very interesting project in Lublin. Probably you know. Hello. Hi.
Hello,
Professor Jurek, how are you?
Thank you, I'm fine.
Yes, because I know that you have very special ceremonies in Lublin to commemorate the Jews, and not long ago you organized a very interesting conference about Judaism, yes?
Yes, it was.
Maybe you want to tell us a little bit about it? Some words, very short, because we don't have time, but some minutes.
Of course. Now in Lublin, we are preparing the second International Ecumenical Congress, which will take part in Jerusalem, 23-25 November 2021. And now we are preparing this project with the authority of Lublin. And that's why each month we prepare one event which is connected with this project. For instance, in last November, we prepared, I hope, very interesting conference webinar about Christian-Jewish dialogue, and we discussed this problem in the light of the newest teaching of Catholic, Lutheran, and Orthodox Church. And also we had many participants from America and Israel. and some rabbis, and it was really interesting. And what else? Of course, this is also connected with Holocaust, because many of our participants in this project were children of Holocaust, and the people who are interested in it, or they work on it. And it is interesting that it is not only ecumenical project, but we understand that Judaism, it is the common roots of all Christians. That's why we decided to connect in our project the problem of Judaism.
Thank you. Very interesting. So you will send us for more details about the conference. So really we are, soon we will celebrate Passover and also Easter. Yes, you will celebrate. So I would like to congratulate everyone with Happy Passover, and Wesołych Świąt in Polish language. So yes.
Before you finish, can I say something?
Yes. Yes.
I have a remark. I didn't want to interrupt Gil, but Gil knows that I had also a very interesting connection with Zbyszek and with his company. He found a place of where our dean's uncle were murdered, according to an old lady's testimony. And he also put there a grave, a stone grave. And the place is in Zakshuvik. Also, not a large village. And we made a film out of it. So if anyone wants also to see this project, I'll be more than happy to share with you.
Thank you, Batya. Very interesting. Maybe you have it on YouTube, so you can share with us the link, maybe on the chat.
I think I have it. If not, I can send it
by email. Yes.
To you.
Yes.
Via WeTransfer. It's very because we took our students to this ceremony, as well as exactly like Gil is doing, much more, of course. But this is just one project, one personal project that we were engaged with.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
It's always so interesting to see how the private memory becomes a collective memory. And from my really personal experience, I started with personal memories of family, and many things that I'm doing in the collective. So it's always so great to hear about the personal initiatives and how it becomes something like a collective memory. So it's really wonderful. So maybe Judy would like to summarize our meeting and say some words before we say Happy Passover and Wesołych Świąt. Please, Judy.
I think that it was a fascinating talk that Gil gave us, and I thank you very much. I've heard part of it, but each time I hear it, I learn something new. And I think it is the same for all of us. It's wonderful that we could all join. I thank Dr. Lea Ganor for being such a wonderful coordinator of the Poland Forum, putting us all together and having this idea of us meeting once a month to hear a lecture by one of our members. I think it is a fabulous initiative, and I am tremendously grateful to her and to all of you for being here. And so I wish, as I have said already on several forums, I wish a happy Passover and a blessed Holy Week for those who keep Holy Week this week. So everything comes together this month, and we should all be healthy, which is the most important thing. Thank you very much, all of you, for being here.
Thank you so much, Professor Judy Baumel-Schwartz. I have a privilege that you were my supervisor, and now we are colleagues. So it's for me really very moving, and it's a privilege. And I wish all of us health, and really take care. Happy Passover, and in Polish, Wesołych Świąt. And I have lots of dreams, but one of my dreams is that we will meet on a big conference in Poland with all of our friends from this forum. And where is my dream to do it? In Włodawa, in the synagogue, which now is a museum. And I will dream and it will come true. I'm sure
it will come true.
It will true. So bye-bye.
Amen, amen.
Bye.
Amen.
Thank
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you all.
תודה,
Thank you,
גיל,
Gil.
תודה.
Bye.
תודה, גיל. תודה רבה.
בבקשה, ביי-ביי.
ענבל, את פה?
כן, אני פה.
הלאה. סך הכל היה בסדר גמור, נכון?
מה?
אני אומרת, סך הכל היה בסדר גמור.
כן, אנחנו נשארנו רק שתינו?
נשארנו רק שתינו, כן, כן.
שיהיה בריא, זה אנגלית יש לו.
כן, כן. כן.
קטסטרופה, הוא לא ידע להגיד את המילה חסידי אומות עולם.
כן, כן. כן, כן, כן. כן, כן, כן. כן.
וואו, אבל כן, זה היה מעניין.
כן, אבל אני אומרת, מה שאני לוקחת מזה, זה תמיד העניין האישי. ברגע שהיוזמה האישית הופכת למשהו שהוא מקיף, אז זה תמיד, את יודעת, תמיד נוגע, ותמיד מדביק.
כן, זה נכון.
מדביק.
ללא ספק רואים שיש לו פה את המעורבות הרגשית.
זהו, כשאתה מעורב רגשית אישית, זה עובד. זה תמיד עובד. ופרופסור ז'ורק, מזמן לא ראינו אותו.
כן, כן. הוא נשמע טוב, אני לא יודעת. באמת לא ראיתי, אבל הוא נשמע טוב.
הוא נשמע בסדר גמור, רק כן. והיה נחמד לראות את קמיל ולראות את קארול. כן?
כן, הבנתי שאצלם יש בעיה.
כן, ראית כמה חולים?
חולים.
כמה חולים, כן, כן. כן, טוב, בסדר, גם זה נגמר, גם זה נעשה וי, לא אמרתי שהפגישה הבאה שלנו היא ב-26 לאפריל, אבל אני אשלח להם כמובן מייל.
אוקיי.
מייל על אפריל. באפריל יש לנו את אווה, מישהי מאוניברסיטת לודג', הם יציגו את הפרויקט שלהם על יהדות לודג'. הם עשו פרויקט מאוד יפה, אפילו אנציקלופדיה על יהדות לודג'.
יפה.
כן. תשמעי. לא הרבה, אני לא עשיתי לזה שיווק מעבר לפורום, כן? אז מתוך 37 חברים היו 12, ככה, בסדר, שליש, גם בסדר.
כן.
גם בסדר.
טוב, זה גם תקופה כזאת, זה גם תקופה עכשיו יותר לחוצה.
כן, כן.
לאנשים.
לא עשיתי יותר מדי תזכורות, לא עשיתי יותר מדי שיווק. בסדר, גם טוב. אז הכל היה בסדר.
כן.
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 כן, בסדר גמור. טוב, יאללה, אני חולמת שאני אעשה כנס במוזיאון בוולודבה. זה יקרה, עוד שנתיים, זה יקרה מתישהו. יקרה. זה יקרה. בסדר, טוב. בוא נראה שבאמת האדם ההוא בן 100, שבוא נראה שחנה תדבר איתו, ובאמת הוא צלוק. וואו, מרגש נורא, מרגש אותי מאוד. ללמוד עליו.
בסדר, עם הקולנים, כן.
כן, יאללה, טוב, אני לא אעכב אותך. אז זהו, עוד חייו, יאללה, תודה, ביי.
אלמה, ביי ביי.